to another Auckland HOG Chapter ride that took place in early June of this year. So yeah, another pre-lockdown ride. Of course we can't record anything at the moment or anything fresh because the city and the whole region actually is in a state of lockdown. Stay-at-home orders in place. So all we can do is reflect on the amazing rides we've managed to get through in the last few months. And this is exactly what we're looking at here. This particular ride started off leaving from Auckland Harley-Davidson at Mount Wellington, and as we pick up the ride here, we've already been riding for about an hour and a half, and we're presently heading through the Glen Murray Churchill area of the Waikato, heading towards the Rangiriri Hotel, which is our final destination. I remember this Saturday very well because the weather was quite magnificent, especially when you consider it's just coming up to when this was recorded, just coming up towards the shortest day. So this is right in the middle of winter. Well, you can see all the moss in the road there. So there are signs of winter around and about, but apart from that, it's a glorious day for riding. Beautiful clear blue skies, and the countryside on the Waikato here looking pretty splendid. Now, if you haven't travelled along this particular road around these parts before, I recommend you do. It's really quite a sweet ride. Obviously you'd have to wait for lockdown to be lifted, but once restrictions do lift again and we're able to get back out there, this is a great road to ride or drive on. To the right there you can see a body of water. That's a lake that I wasn't even aware existed until starting riding with Auckland HOG. And for the reason that before I started riding with the HOG group and essentially getting guided tours through all kinds of magnificent parts of the region that I'd never seen before, I had really very little reason to travel along this road. I never knew of it, and if I'm going anywhere in the car, I just want to get there on the usually the quickest available route rather than taking a detour. And that's the joy of motorbike riding, is that you do get to just ride around for pleasure and to see what you can see, and it's a great country to have a look around, no question about that. So as this ride is coming along the side of the lake, there are some pretty good views coming up of it, and there's one in particular where I did manage to glance to the right and keep looking there. I took a freeze frame of it because it was really quite a spectacular sight. Kind of took my breath away inside the helmet there, and I think you might agree this is something worth riding for. And at this stage we're, I guess, about another 5-6 minutes away from the Rangariri Hotel itself. Now the hotel is a long established place. I really like the look of it. It's got an old style feel about the hotel, and it's right alongside the Waikato River, also nestled right alongside State Highway 1, so it's got great access to the motorway heading north or south, and that's where we're heading for today. Now we've, like I said before, we've been riding for about 90 minutes, coming up to 100 minutes I suppose, and throughout this part of the Waikato the roads are generally in pretty good nick. As you can see, there's not a lot of damage to the roads here. There's not a whole lot of too heavy traffic that comes along and cuts up the road, and it's not a lot of traffic of any kind here, so we have got the road to ourselves as our group, which is also just a very lovely thing. We can just dictate our own pace and everyone be safe and comfortable riding together. So very much looking forward to getting back out on the road and enjoying these kind of rides again, because it's a lot of fun. It's quite freeing. Now I'm pointing up in the sky there. We can't really see them because I was peering through the footage. I know what I'm looking for, and what I'm looking for is about 8 or 9 skydivers who are floating gently down to earth, having just jumped out of a plane somewhere to the right of the film there, but the camera unfortunately didn't pick them out. But the canopies of those parachutes did look quite amazing, set off against the blue sky and just drifting out of the countryside. Kind of added a bit of a surreal flavour to the whole ride for a moment there. Now I think on this ride there was it was pretty well well patronised, I guess you'd call it. There must have been, I think, something like 20 plus bikes on this particular one, so it's quite a big group. But because of the absolute lack of traffic on the road, other traffic that is, we were able to keep very much together and have just a great old time with very little delays or hold-ups on the way through. Now, turning left here, we're coming up towards the intersection. There's a one-lane bridge, traffic light controlled, that will take us over the Waikato River, and from there we just have a small turnaround into the fairly generous parking area for the Rangiriri Hotel. Now, one-lane bridges are a delight. They're dotted all throughout the country as far as I can see it, but it looks like they maybe aren't quite so common overseas. But anyway, some of them are bigger than others. This is certainly a fairly large one. It's traffic light controlled, one-way traffic only at any one time, and that's fine. I mean, you don't have to wait too long, and then we can all cross over. And now we're crossing the Waikato River here. You can see it stretching either side of the bridge, and as we head across we'll be arriving in the settlement of Rangariri. To the right there you can see that kind of white building. That is in fact the hotel. That's where we're heading to. So through a roundabout we've got to make a couple of turns, and then we easing through one or two like small side streets, and then we're there. And we're well ready for a little bit of a break, and that's where I'm going to leave this particular video, start doing the sign off now, and wish everybody well. Stay safe out there, and let's all hope that we can very soon be back on the roads again, enjoying all that the country has to offer. So take care, hope to see you out there again sometime.